The way that the road system is designed is for AI. It's basically, I should say, it's for intelligence, biological neural net, and eyes. That's how the whole road system is designed. So what will actually work best for the road system is artificial intelligence, digital neural nets, and cameras.
That is Elon Musk laying out basically why his attempt to get into the robotaxi game is not going well and is unlikely to go much better in the near future. We talked a couple days ago about him rolling out his robotaxis in Austin in an incredibly limited both geographically, but also limited in terms of who can access it way, showing that they are way behind the Waymos and other companies like that. And you might think, well, but why are they behind? Is it because they waited too long? No, Elon Musk has been talking about robotaxis for years and years. Now, it turns out the main reason, and there's a lot, but the main reason they're behind is because he decided years ago that there was one type of technology he liked and another that he didn't, and he appears to be utterly unwilling to update that with changing technological circumstances. And that might be really holding back his ability and Tesla's ability to compete with companies like Waymo. So let's jump into the technology, but first, the evidence that the current technology they're using isn't necessarily up to snuff. So we showed you the video, we're not gonna do that now, but footage from the robotaxi rides in Austin show that the trial run didn't pan out flawlessly. In one case, a robotaxi failed to make a left turn and instead just kept driving into oncoming traffic on the wrong lane. It eventually corrected itself by driving across a double yellow line, which technically you're not supposed to do, but when you're driving on the wrong side of the road, I'll make an exception. You also have other videos appearing to show the cars exceeding the speed limit, braking for no discernible reason, sometimes really hard braking, and dropping passengers off in the middle of an intersection. Basically, it was having a lot of the sorts of problems that some other companies like Waymo have apparently gotten past. And it's not just experience or time. Remember, Elon Musk has been gathering data through the full self-driving of Teslas for years. It's not the data that's the problem, it's literally the tech. And so he talks about how we should use biological neural nets and vision to solve the problems of the cars knowing what's going on around them. And he means that quite literally. He means cameras. You need to have cameras on the outside of the cars, and that's how they interpret what's going on around them, and that's how they drive. And that is what they have, but that's not the way that other companies do it. They use a combination of cameras with things like radar and lidar. These are sensors that don't just use visual information, but can actually actively scan the area nearby the vehicle and provide not just a flat two-dimensional image with which to process the environment, but actual three-dimensional information, which can be much more accurate. And so Waymo, Zoox use radar and lidar. There's some other arrays and sensors too, but that's the big categories of technology. And so the most recent version of Waymo uses about 40 external cameras and sensors, whereas a Tesla with one of the latest versions of full self-driving, which should always be in quotation marks, uses 8 external cameras, and that's about it. And in perfect conditions, those cameras can be okay. But you know from driving that that's not always the way that it goes. So sometimes it could be bad weather, poor lighting, complicated textures on the sides of trucks, and the cameras are just not as good at interpreting that information. So why go with just the cameras when other companies are using radar and lidar? Well, he decided that lidar is lame. That's literally what he said. It's lame, it's friggin' stupid, it's expensive, and it's unnecessary. And yes, lidar can be more expensive, and in particular years ago it was. It is becoming much more cost effective in recent years, but Elon Musk doesn't seem to either know that or care. He staked his position as being against radar and lidar. He wants it to be simple, he wants it to be inexpensive, but the issue is that while he's accurate in saying that it's expensive, it's not stupid, it's better. You know, if the only thing that you care about is getting the cost of the car to be cheap, then sure, maybe it's stupid to put that on there. But if you're worried about, car accidents, fatalities, it isn't stupid. It's actually better at avoiding those. And there have been cases of Teslas having fatal accidents specifically because the cameras are not as nuanced at understanding three-dimensional information, particularly in poor conditions. People have already lost their lives because of that. And again, he's not updating his information. And he says, it's just shit doesn't in the video. Doesn't it seem natural that you would want your car to drive the way you do? I mean, you use your eyes, right? Isn't that the best way? I just want to remind everyone, last year, there were nearly 40,000 traffic fatalities from people using their eyes. Maybe it's not the best thing. Sometimes technology can actually exceed our capabilities. And when your life and the lives of other people in your family are on the line, that might be an opportunity where we want to go with something a little bit better than our pupils.